Hi. Hope everyone's okay. Having a good day. Oh my gosh, I've got so much to tell you. Oh, squee excited. Where to start? Oh, so the first, I was thinking about this yesterday because if we go way back to a year ago, and I remember I must have signed up to something and got an invite to Tony Robbins event of some description, and there was Tony Robbins. If you don't know who Tony Robbins is, where have you been? I'm going to put a link into all these people that I reference, obviously. So there's Tony Robbins, there was Dean Graziosi, and there was Russell Brunson. They were the main three. And there was a lady there called Jenna. I want to say Kutcher, but I need to double check that. And I remember watching it and just being like, wow, I want whatever they're on, I want it. Like they're so happy, so positive. They were absolutely captivating. And everything they said, I just got it. And it was just really empowering. And actually I like to call them the three wise men. And it was 100% watching that video, joining that free webinar, that something just clicked in me. And I don't know, it just kick-started something, this whole I guess journey, whatever, so I was already on my spiritual tip anyway, but it just took it to another stratosphere. So that I have a lot to thank them for. And it's one of them ones there, I don't know about you, but I get because I'm signed up to literally every newsletter everywhere, so I get a lot of emails, and then obviously all other emails as well. And I could have not even opened it, because there's a lot of emails that I don't even get a chance to open because it's only me going through it. So when it's one of those things, it's just it was fate, it was a sign. And so then from there, there's these obviously led on to other things, other courses that I completed. So there's the course which is called the Knowledge Broker Blueprint. I have messaged it. I have mentioned it before, and that was just a really empowering course as well. And it's just basically, and I actually referenced it in that email that I read out, and it's just empowering people to realize that everyone's got the power, everyone's got a special skill or knowledge that they can share with the world and make money from, via various different formats. So there's that course. I'll put a link into that. I'm not paid for any of these plugs, by the way. I'm just telling you what I've done over this time that's helped. It's helped me. So there was the Knowledge Broker Blueprint, and then there was another Tony Robbins thing, and then obviously from that it went on to ClickFunnels, and then obviously from those they have like inner circles and Facebook groups, and I'm on all of those, and this is leading to something. So and they're amazing because obviously all the people that are on those groups have done those courses and all want the same, you know, so they're really just really positive environments, really positive people, just really positive environment to be in, and you know, everyone supports each other and congratulates each other, and it's just a community, a nice community of people. And if you're on your own or isolated in location or whatever, then having that is having that is nice anyway. And but this is leading on to, so I when I sent that email that I read out, and I copied him, the solicitor, the court, and the new BBC, Sky News, some other media, some women's charities, because the whole point of it was just to say, look, this is the level that these kind of people go to. And I included Tony Robbins because in the body of the email I obviously referenced his course and how much it helped me, and it was really only as a sort of a thank you to that. And then I got a response today, and this is good. So this has got nothing to do with Tony Robbins because he's a legend or any of that. This is just the specific person that replied, whose name I am going to name is Gail. 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 Where are you? Gail Stoyer, who's the Vice President of Administration for Tony Robbins. And that's important when I'm about to tell you what I'll tell you. So she replied, and she replied all as well. So it means that all of the media and that are going to see her response. And she didn't even read the email. So she didn't read the email, and this is how you know, because she didn't use my name. She didn't put my correct name for a start. Then she was like, we have no interest in your personal. It was really curt. It was really rude. And she's like, well, we've no interest in your personal matter. Don't email us again. I was like, hold on a minute. I didn't ask you to be part of anything. I was merely copying him in because actually, the confidence, I'm in a place where I'm the happiest, healthiest, most confident, most determined, most motivated, most focused, most clear than I've ever been in my entire life. And actually it is down to, it's not solely down to them, but it is most certainly they play an important part, as have many others along the way. And it was merely just a sort of a thank you, you know what I mean? Just to say, look, you've given me the confidence to stand up to these two. And yeah, so she didn't. So this is the vice president, because obviously people like Tony Robbins don't read their own emails. But then I was thinking, like, this is important, because if you've got a business and you're paying someone to do a job such as respond to emails for you, and they're not even reading the email. So first thing, they're not reading it properly, because the way that they replied is a clear indicator that I hadn't read it, because I never asked her to be part of anything. Secondly, she didn't get my name right. thirdly, how rude it was, and fourthly, she replied all. So it means that her response and how she responded is actually going to is going to be seen by media organizations as well. You know what I mean? So it's like, you've done yourself no favors whatsoever, Gail. You know what I mean? Shame. So yeah, I just replied and went, thank you for your curt response. I shall ensure I include it in my video diary this evening. So yeah, there we go. So there's no other Xgate update other than I went to the police today to update them. So that's that. And the only other thing was, they're calling me monster now. I'm like, right, okay. Monster for what exactly? Monster for working hard? Monster for improving myself? Monster for creating a business? Monster for sharing hints, tips, health, wealth, whatever I possibly can. Anything I find that I think is beneficial to anyone, anywhere, I share. Monster for fighting for my children, which they are like, what? Monster for trying to make a difference. Monster for who's the monster? I just think it's just nuts. I'm just totally chill. Because I just keep proving over and over again I'm doing what I've said I'm doing. So it matters not what comes out of their mouth, because the evidence speaks for itself. I've already proved I'm innocent of any wrongdoing, and they're just making themselves it worse as the days pass. So it is what it is, and it will unfold as it will unfold when it's supposed to, and I'm absolutely not worried about it. But it was really just to obviously for the ladies in the crowd, that are going through difficult situations, just stay strong. Stay strong. Because they're just making them, unfortunately, when people don't like their faults being pointed out to them, it should never have gotten this far, in truth, because it didn't need to go. If they'd have just believed the truth and seen what I was doing, rather than hate me for improving myself and for doing for creating a business and trying to do it for my kids and stuff. If they'd have just seen it for exactly what it was and put their ego aside, then we wouldn't be here. But their insistence that I'm a monster now for merely pointing out what they've done, what the truth is about their actions towards me, just says it all, really. So it is what it is. But judgment day cometh. So I've found some seriously exciting technology today. Oh, I was archaeology. I was watching this thing earlier. Archaeology must be one of the most exciting things. like discovering history, right, where we came from. Because obviously where the technology is advanced to such a degree now, they're finding all these new things. They're finding all these new, tombs and graves and pots and stuff, and and to be that person that discovers that must be really exciting, mustn't it? Be like, oh, this hasn't been seen or touched for 3,000 years, and you're the first person to discover it, with thanks to technology, of course. But can you imagine what else we would find now? There might be, that technology, it kind of scans down. It's like some kind of, I'm going to say this one, it's like radar or something like that. I mentioned it before, a long time ago. And it can, penetrate deep into the earth, and you can sort of do a sort of 3D image of what's down there. Can you imagine what else must be down there? I mean, I bet there's some, who knows? Who knows? I just saw a link to a video which is saying that NASA has confirmed UFOs. This is in the last week. So yeah, there we go. And then also I flicked the channel. This is around the same time. So I saw the thing about the UFOs. Then I flicked the channel, and there was this thing, a program on, and it was saying about how the octopus, the DNA of an octopus, is not from this planet, because of the way it can change itself, and how it has to have come from outer space. So there's a fact for you. Every day is a school day. Serious. So and then they went on to these other two things. These are a bit more supernatural, or maybe alien, who knows? And they were called Chimera and the Mothman. Now, these are both the Chimera is like part human, part what was it? Like wolf or something like I might be wrong. I'll put a link in. But loads of people had said they'd seen it. And the same with Mothman. This is a winged humanoid. Or maybe not humanoid, maybe alien or demon, who knows? But loads of people have seen it, and they were trying to rationalize it. They're trying to rationalize it like, or maybe it could have been a I want to say, I can't think of the bird now, but like a flamingo, but not a flamingo. What's one of them? Like a really long-legged, tiny, those teeny tiny. They were like, no, it didn't look like that. It looked like a human with wings. And this has been going on since the 60s. Sightings of this thing. Could you imagine? I mean, the amount of stuff we're finding out now, it would not surprise me. It wouldn't, because the amount of DNA. Let's not forget how much genetic modification has been going on, and been going on for so long, actually. And if you think about the amount of fuckery that they did during World War II, those scientists there, what they did, who knows what else they were doing? If you're thinking about, they created a nuclear bomb, and that was his dream, to create a weapon that would annihilate everyone. And then they also created all those chemical weapons that killed millions of Jews, and all the other testing and stuff that they did during that time there. And there's that doctor, what's his name? Oh, I shared a link to him as well. It escapes me now. The and they, you know, as well, they all of those scientists there, all of those German scientists that were involved in that got relocated to America. Like, where are they now? What else did they do? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So many amazing technologies. Listen, where to start? First one, there's this guy, where is it? It's called Zero Mass Water, this one. Zero Mass Water makes water from air, right? So this guy, he's an American guy, Ben Sullin, that's his name. So he did this video and he was talking about how in Flint, Michigan, way back now, although they're still suffering from this water, you know, there was that massive problem with the water and the brown water was coming out the tap. They still haven't fixed that problem properly in Flint. And it's like a lot, it's like 10 years later. I mean, that's crazy. And then from there, there's a link, I'm going to put this in as well, to the water, the American water, it's called the Environmental Finance Center. And there's reports on there that say that most of the waterworks are not adequate in the United States. And I'm not picking on, because I'm pretty confident it's going to be the same here. From another water story I did a long time ago, and because there's several problems, but one of them is that the piping's the lead still in some places, and their sanitation isn't right in some places, and then these are in built up cities. There's not like, I mean, obviously it's worse in some rural areas, and but this report outlines that all, and it says that it'll take over $1 trillion to redo it, to get it up to the right standard, and that the water rating is D, which obviously isn't good. And then, but the knock-on effect of that is that everyone buys bottled water. And then the knock-on effect of that is plastic. Yes, the obviously copious drinking bottled water. This zero mass water. So it's basically like a box, and in the middle is 2 solar panels, and then on the side is where the condensation turns into pure water from the heat within the box. So that the air from being outside in the heat and the solar panel, it just condenses into pure drinking water, and that collects in a water collector. So you're literally making water from the air and the electricity heats the box. So it doesn't need to connect to anything. It's just literally the box. And this guy, so I think they're about $5,000. I mean, obviously, not everyone's going to have $5,000, but it certainly will help. Governments could pay for that in the short term, or like local, each state, you could put them in areas, couldn't you? And there's so it's $5,000, and they last 15 years, and they did a price comparison. So if you buy in, so that would be $5,000 for 15 years, roughly 6,000 if you include the maintenance, like, which is just changing the filter. But it doesn't use any electricity, and all it does is pump out water. And you can run that from the box to your tap in your kitchen if you wanted to, so you can have it out of the tap. And in comparison, bottled water over 15 years is 50,000 you'd spend on bottled water for the same amount of water that you'd get out this box for 5,000. It's literally 10 times. You spend not only 10 times much more in money, but also in the amount of plastic that you have gone through from drinking bottled water. So first food for thought, I thought it was a genius idea. There is, you know that line thing, in Saudi, they're doing NEOM, and it's called the line. Well, part of that is something called solar water. So again, this is like a dome, and because obviously Saudi is sort of very dry and hot, isn't it? And it's sort of, so they've got desalination plants along the coast. So this is a dome, and it feeds straight from the sea. The water goes into the bottom of it, surrounded by solar panels. The solar panels heat up the dome, and the same sort of process happens, so that the condensation and then the pure water then gets drawn out through other irrigation tunnels, and gets collected in other tanks, and the remainder gets I think with that one they put it back into the sea, the salt, that comes out. But so that's a good one for any dry coastal places. Then you've got I did not know any of these existed. Did anyone else know? I did not know. So where's the other? There's another one. Tidal power. Now we're talking. Listen, wave piston, Denmark. They got some clever bods there, haven't they? This does has no negative. It basically is a piston style wave thing. So it has no negative effects on the flora, the fauna, the seabed. It's like a pipe with little things like this on it, and they just move like this with the waves, and that energy sucks the water and creates energy at the same time. So it's creating energy by the force and sucks water in through, and then the energy turns via desalination, turns the seawater into clean water, drinkable water. So that's good for anywhere that's on like an island or a coastal place that has big waves. And it creates, they reckon wave power, this is what statistically, from the research that they've done, they think that tidal power could provide 50% of the world's electricity, and it has no negative environmental impact. So that's good. So that's that one. There's another. Where's the other one? There's another. There's a couple from Denmark actually. Similar thing. And then there's wind. You got kite power systems. This is an actual kite, and it's attached, to a wire, and that's attached to a generator. So the movement of the kite pulls on that and creates the energy that can be stored or distributed, and that kite power can create enough electricity to power 86,000 homes just from kites. There's no negative impact on that one either. What else we got here? Oh, the Megagen tidal power. That's another one. That's using more of a turbine type system. Solid state wind energy. Check this one. So this is again, it's more environmentally friendly than the traditional wind power, and it's just a box with slats in it like that, and they move like that, and that does it. And it doesn't have so many moving parts, which means it costs less to maintain, and they're not such an eyesore, and they put it out to sea. Just saying. What else we got? Desert Tech. So this is a company. This actually started way back when. I didn't actually mention this yet. I did not know this existed. Desert Tech. So they're doing the whole solar farms in deserts, and they reckon that their Desert Tech could power all of Africa, and the power itself would fuel desalination from seawater to clean water for drinking, for irrigation, for growing plants, food. How cool is that? Totes cool. Oh, and this one. 4G internet air balloons. So these are hot air balloons. These are hot air balloons that they can put up in remote areas, wherever. And they have, what would that be called? I don't think I wrote that down. They're trialing it in Kenya, though. I'll put the link in. Satellite? 4G thing? No, I'm saying. So you can connect to that. So if you're in a rural area where there's no internet currently, get one of these hot air balloons. The government should be getting you these hot air balloons in the meantime, because then you have internet access. So there's that. Then you've got another new wind technology. In fact, there's several. There's an Iceland Icewind, and then there's this one, and it's much more efficient. The tech is much more efficient. It's much greener, has less of an impact on the environment, and it creates 6 times more energy than those big old white ones. Check that. What else we got? I was talking about the solar water. What else I got? Hold on. Oh, there's also these 2 other techs which are good for remote areas. So there's sail drones. So these are solar powered, water based drones. The power from the solar power powers the boat itself, and they can deliver. So they can also monitor the sea and the what's going on with the temperatures and waves and environment, etc. But they can also access remote islands or remote places if you need to get food or medicines to places. The other one, this is a similar, but this is a drone. and it's called Valancy or Valance One, Valan One, I think. Yeah, so that is a set. So that's an air drone. Same thing. They're still relatively small-ish in terms of what they can carry, but it can obviously get to places a lot easier and quicker, remote places. Drinking spiced orange tea today, not too bad. So yeah, that's good because there's, you know, think about when there's these, you know, these events that with weather and people getting stranded and stuff, and it means that you can easily get, if it's a tornado or something, you can't get there because of the debris. But it means, at least it means you can get food and medicines to where it needs to be straight away while you try and get there physically. I am going to big up China here for a minute. The Uyghur thing is obviously absolutely horrendous, and we need to tackle that. But you know, I think at this point we need to accept that everyone's done wrong, and there was a lot of wrong things going on. So I don't think we need to just judge each other a bit less. Still work towards fixing the problems, obviously, because there's wars going on as well. But let's not forget the good. So, and this is what I'm talking about. I did not know this. I did not know this. They have done a thing. So where the Great Wall of China is, they have created the largest man-made forest on Earth. And they did it because the Gobi Desert was starting to encroach on the, or you know, starting to spread basically. And so they were getting sandstorms and also losing land to desert as it's sort of the wind's blowing it and it's spreading more and more. And in China, because they've got the largest you know, they've got the same size sort of land mass as America, North America, but their population density is much greater, and the land that is arable is a lot less. So you can't, you know, every inch of land is important, so you can't be losing any to the Gobi Desert just going, hey, coming at ya. So what they did was they've planted 100 billion trees. 100 billion. That's a lot, isn't it? So it was like a completely stark area, and they turned it into a forest. They've turned it into a forest over time. It's still, the project is still going. It's called the Great Green Wall of China, and it will stop, because of the mix of plants. It will stop the desert because it's been planted, so it can't spread, and also because of the trees, it stops the sandstorms as well, because that damages crops and things like that. I mean, come on. I mean, if you're gonna, I mean, maybe getting another thing, but that's a good thing, though, isn't it? It is. I think we should all be copying their lead on that one, on planting trees. And they made every citizen has had to plant 3 trees as part of it, to be part of it. That's cool. Every single citizen. So I think that's a good thing. So, and it's actually not far from that Shenzhen. So anyone that's using Uyghur slave labor really needs to think again, because certain people are pulling out now. I think everyone should pull out. You can find another, because if everyone pulled out, they might actually do something about it. They might stop it, because they'll be forced to. But our purchase of it is, using those factories is sort of making it continue. So if we didn't, I mean, surely people would want to pay more to know that they're not using, their product hasn't come from a factory that's using slave labour and breaching all those human rights, surely. Oh, and I'm going to say it. Bloomberg, you guys, I love you. Yeah. They are giving me jokes. They're so funny. Oh, I missed them over the weekend, I'm going to be honest. So, the last thing is just from that today, which is... Oh, no, I've got another thing. The Peloton, have you heard about this? Right, the Peloton Tread Plus. They've just put a health warning on it, saying it can cause serious injury or death. And particularly, there's been 40 incidents, not just one, 40 incidents of where children or pets have been seriously hurt. And there's that one recently where a child died. And their Peloton are saying they're not going to recall it. There's got to be some work done there, surely. I mean, that's one death of a child as a result of that machine is one too many. So they should do. I think they should recall it for that. I think it should be recalled. They're saying if you follow the instructions properly and follow the but a child can't read this. A child can't read the instructions. So I don't know. I think it should be recalled. Where am I? Oh, I found another thing, which is the 10 most profitable crops that you can grow at the moment as a farmer. So there's two things about this. There's that, and particularly in America, these are applied in America because some of them are Chinese, grown in China, but can be grown in climates in North America and South America, actually. And they can make them. People are making millions off these products because they're highly sought after. They're either superfoods or maybe they're a bit complicated to grow. But one of them's wasabi. It's quite a tricky one, apparently. And then vertical farming. Have you seen this? Vertical farming with no soil and uses 90% less water. That sounds like a winner. So I'm going to put all of these links in because I was like, oh my goodness me, these are amazing. Big up these guys. And also found out today you can reverse aging. No shit. You can actually reverse aging. There's these things at the end of your DNA called telomeres. You can they deteriorate over time, but you can stop that. Check that. So yeah, that's all the update for today. I was going to do the news, but no, it's too long. I'll save up for tomorrow. I hope everyone is having a glorious day. Sending lots of love. big hugs. Oh, I tell you what, because I'm still, I'm just keeping myself to myself because I'm just busy trying to do this, trying to, you know, finish all my other bits as well. I'm working on 100 projects, so it all takes time, and I'd just much rather do this than go out and drink. And I just know, you know, I know that if I go out drinking, I'm just going to regret it. I'm just going to feel like poo, and then I just won't do anything. I won't be motivated, and I just know myself. And it just ain't worth it. And not right now. I want to celebrate when it's time to celebrate, and then I won't. Then no one's going to stop me doing it. So much love. Namaste. And I hope you all have a lovely day, evening, morning, and yeah, love you. See you tomorrow.